Welcome to another day in the Matrix, waters above crypto. Going to be doing a quick technical analysis update today since I'm planning to go live later tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern Time Zone. Looking forward to hanging out with you all tonight. High vibrations in the Matrix. In today's video, I'll be going over the recent rejection I've been discussing for the DXY US dollar currency index and its significance on the direction of the market as a whole. And we'll also be getting into the charts of Bitcoin, XRP, and a quick update on Theta tokens since the recent 3.0 mainnet launch. If you're new here, we do cryptocurrency technical analysis and combine it with Gematria, Numerology, and Astrology to understand these markets. Feel free to subscribe and turn on the bell notification to stay updated on when new videos come out. And make sure to give this video a like and share this channel with other conscious people to help grow this community. And for those of you that want to learn how to do technical analysis and combine it with Gematria, you can join my Mastermind course. My email is in the description box to get in contact with me for access to the course. And with that being said, let's take the red pill. So we're going to start here with the dollar currency index because it is playing a huge role in how this market has been behaving lately. Regardless of all the FUD and all the distraction and theater, we can see that the dollar index is getting a rejection perfectly at a trend line, which I showed you in the last video, has been playing out actually for about 4.5 years, but it's been a resistance predominantly for about a year now. So what was a recent support actually flipped into a recent resistance, and we could call it a true resistance because we've gotten 1, 2, 3 rejections. So we're not necessarily out of the woods just yet because I would always like to see a confirmed downtrend after a rejection, and we're not able to do that until we at least get a daily close for the dollar index below 91.9. That would be about the perfect area to start seeing a trend reversal to the downside, and then that would be a true rejection off the top. Now, whenever you retest a trend line, there's always an opportunity for a quick rejection and then eventually a breakout. So I'm just telling you the technicals here. I'm not telling you my opinion. But the one thing that could be critical right now is this MACD on the daily looking to flip bearish. The last time it did that, it tanked. So that's in the cards at this time, and I would not negate that. Also, this was one of the most overbought times for the dollar index in a long time, seeing it get all the way up to around 73.6. We haven't seen it at those levels since actually around the C word scam. So what we're getting right now is pretty technical, and that's nice when we get a lot of technicals that are showing up, and it gives us answers way in advance to what will happen as opposed to having to wait around for news and theatrics. I've been telling you guys to watch out for this trend line ever since the FOMC meeting pumped, and we haven't seen it help the market. And I've been telling you that even though the market has been hitting new all-time highs, it's clearly showing us that the dollar index being bullish or being up after being low has caused lots of pressure for cryptocurrencies, predominantly Bitcoin. And when Bitcoin has pressure, all the altcoins have pressure. So it just is what it is. But I do believe that the one thing that we've seen before for the dollar is this structure right here, which is somewhat of a double top with a failure of a new high. That is possible. It happened between September and November. And if we were to count the amount of days that we got in between it, approximately 39. And if we were to go from the recent top over 39 days, we're looking somewhere around August. So that could be in the cards. Potentially the middle of August, we get another touch, but it gets another rejection, and then we continue to the downside. I believe that's more likely in the cards just because I've been telling everyone that I don't suspect a true market reversal for crypto at least until around October. So between now and all the way into the beginning of October, I still suspect choppy sideways, perhaps new highs, perhaps higher lows, but for the most part, nothing too exuberant to the upside. I'm not seeing anything like $50,000 Bitcoin anytime soon, and that pretty much goes across the board for everything else. If we do start to see things like a $50,000 Bitcoin really soon, that's indicative of a bull trap, and that would be an unhealthy correction to the downside, and sometimes even a market ending. So For the bulls, the best opportunity right now would be to have the dollar index continue to chop in this pattern and then find resolution after the turn into Q1 of 2022. And for the bears, which I don't really understand why anyone would be bearish right now when we're in an environment that's printing trillions of dollars like it's breathing air. But anyways, that's another person's opinion. That's not mine. Anywho, we do know about the Shemitah starting on the 7th of September, which is Rosh Hashanah, and I have a lot more content to come regarding that. So anyways, all in all, one other thing that we're seeing is the US 10-year yield. It is getting a tick to the upside, but what's important here is remember this trend line that I've showed you guys that was playing all the way out since August of 2020. It was a perfect trend line all the way up until the start of the new year. And then the bonds just started lifting off. And I think this was all sort of baked in because now we could see there's been a consistent downtrend and then a collapse of structure. Now, after you get a collapse of structure, what do you want to do? Well, you want to go back to a previous trend line to see if it's now confirmed resistance. So what was a confirmed support might be actually confirming resistance. And this can play out in a really interesting way because we could see it have an uptrend still, but not be able to break this line, come up to the 382, and then keel over. That's very possible for that to happen first. It would look something like this. So if I was to show you with a brush, maybe something like this, where we come up again, and then we actually move on down into the fall time, hold on the 236, and then into the new year, we actually see the bonds reverse. Why does that matter? Well, if the bonds just keep pumping to the upside, good luck for our bull market because it's not happening. But if the bonds start to continue to correct, we start to see the interest rates come back to pandemic levels, then we could start to see that crazy bullish momentum that we were used to seeing. I just don't see that helping for right now to see this continue to pump up to the 2% and higher. That's something that's more likely in Q1, Q2. If you don't know anything about what I'm talking about right now and you only know about crypto stuff, that's probably indicative of why you're not able to answer a lot of your own questions in this market. And I do notice a lot of analysts leave this stuff out. So that's why I've been wanting to talk about it lately, because we're on the precipice of an economic collapse. And this is all the underlining information that's necessary to facilitate your growth and your ability to understand what's going on in this market. So I'm going to quickly move on. In short, we're seeing the U.S. oil price do exactly what I thought it would do. Quick rejection, recovery. Now we're about to see a weekly close above the 0.5 fib. Food prices are going up, everyone. I've been warning you, and you have to prepare yourself. Okay, so let's move on to Bitcoin. And what we're seeing now is a lot of things going on. I'm going to put it on logarithmic just for fun, because we've been talking about this firmament dome for quite a while. This firmament dome structure has actually been playing out all the way since October of last year, about a month after the Shemitah. The month after Rosh Hashanah, excuse me. So about around a month after Rosh Hashanah, we entered this firmament dome, and it has been a resistance since, which is a 275-day resistance. And if you look at where we're at right now, we are so close. So remember I was talking about this blue trend line in the previous video. Even though yesterday was a big red day, I didn't make a video, but you can see we got the daily close right above that blue trend line. So it's still in play. This blue trend line is pretty amazing. And it's creating somewhat of like a really awkward falling wedge. But I don't like to call it that because it's only a short-term pattern. It's kind of unnecessary to discuss. But for the most part, we're definitely seeing some change of character. The one thing that I do want to bring up, though, is if we go to the 3-day and we bring up this MACD, we see that on our next MACD, on our next 3-day open, which is on the 12th, I believe that's this coming Monday, we're most likely going to get a bullish MACD cross. So that's one thing to take into consideration. Okay, now let's go to our RSI on the daily. So we know we have this trend line that we've been showing time and time again on this channel. This is a 180-day trend line going back from January all the way till today. And we can't seem to break it, but we're getting a noticeable uptrend because we have continual higher lows. So those higher lows, now we just need to see a reversal, which wouldn't be in the cards necessarily until we see a break above A, this trend line, but B, more importantly, above that 53 level. And anything above 50 we typically call bullish from a technical analysis perspective. So anyways, the long and short of it is, as long as we keep going sideways, we're coiling up, and this is telling me that we are ready for a massive, massive volatile move. This is so similar to back in September, right around this time frame over here. Excuse me on that, where we have this distributional top, like Wyckoff distribution, and then we enter a sideways trading range that lasted about 50 days, and then a breakout. And that breakout was extremely volatile, because if you see from when entering this firmament dome till very top, it took about 190 days, and that was a 500% increase for Bitcoin. Okay, that's a big, to 5x Bitcoin in such a short period of time is massive. It's not like an altcoin, guys. So that's a very amazing move, especially with all the institutions piling up. That's a very nice move for them. I also heard a couple people bringing up this idea of grayscale next week. And people talking about how they're the big whale and they're going to dump the price and all this stuff. I mean, I think that's a really unsophisticated mindset, because it's GBTC that you'd have to worry about, which has nothing to do with Bitcoin. And why would they sell if they know more than anyone where this is headed? Like, that's the reason they got into becoming Bitcoin whales, is because the dollar is going down. I mean, anyways, that's somebody else's analysis, and I completely disagree with that, and I think that's just FUD. So a couple other things. Basically, all in all, MACD on the 3-day about to cross bullish. We're seeing that this is coiling up into this firmament dome, and it's getting ready to bust. And then the 180-day resistance on the RSI. This is all telling me that very, very, very soon we are about to have a massive volatile move. Now, whether it goes up or down, you be the judge. I'm kind of done with this whole, like, people hearing what I'm saying and they're taking it as prediction, when in actuality it is technical analysis. I'm here to give you the analysis, and you have to decide with your own noggin whether you want to invest or not invest. It's a very simple concept. I hope people understand that. Another thing that I'm really interested in is how we are getting really close to that Shemitah. So we have a lot to talk about with that, like I brought up earlier in this video, and I do think that it's going to affect things differently, but we just have to see. So anyways, if you haven't already liked this video, go ahead and give us a like, and subscribe if you haven't. We are doing some crazy stuff over here. So, okay, let's move into XRP, because I am also seeing something quite interesting on the 2-day. We're about to flip bullish, and you could see that right there. It's like so close. And tonight's a 2-day close. So that means that after tonight's daily closure, we're most likely going to see XRP flip bullish. And every time that it does that, it has a massive volatile spike to the upside. If it doesn't do that, that's just because Bitcoin dominance is taking over. So that's the last thing I'll talk about in this video. But for the most part, we have tonight's daily closure. Look for the MACD on the 2-day. Let's see what happens. It's pretty indicative of a reversal. Another thing that we could look at is this 3-day. The 3-day MACD seems to have bottomed out. It looks like it's curving to the upside. And another thing I wanted to show you guys was this potential parallel channel. It's kind of weird to draw the parallel channel, but it might be helpful for everyone. So I'm just going to show you right here. I'm going to draw it on the top of this candle body. Going to do something like this. I know I'm logarithmic, so it's kind of making things weird, but let me see really quick. I'm going to go from up here to right there. I could get a majority of our trading range. Something like this. So it's a really tight bandwidth of trading, and it's really hard to see. But if I was to put it in like a line chart or an area chart, you're going to see what I'm talking about. So you see right here, when you have the area chart, it gets rid of all those like wicks and all that noise. And you could see that throughout this channel, it is actually about maybe 90% of all the trading range on average for all of the 3-day closes. So this isn't a daily chart. This isn't a 4-hour. This is a 3-day chart. Okay, so this is very crucial. We only have one moment outside of it, and this volatile correction, which we typically see after huge parabolic spikes. We see a correction, bull trap, secondary bull trap, and then you have a downtrend. we're about to get out of this. Okay, so I'm really interested to see how that plays because we're cutting it close. If you were to zoom in and see, based on where we're at, this parallel channel has been a pretty solid support in regards to that heart line in the middle. And now, I mean, the next 3-day open, it's like I said, it's bullish for Bitcoin because of that MACD cross, and then it does look like it's going to exit this parallel channel, probably confirm it as a support, and continue on to the upside. So let's talk about bullish continuation. We're looking at 74 cents to the upside on a daily close, and for the bearish bias, anything below 61 cents is most likely going to give us continuation to the downside. The reason I'm saying that is because this daily close right here, it's 61 cents. So I'm always looking for the closures or the body closes. So anything of a daily close below 61, bad. Anything above that's 71, good. It's very simple. More than likely, though, I would like to see a pierce of 74 cents. That would equal most likely a bullish continuation based on how XRP likes to react. So let's move on to Theta token. Theta's a beast. Okay, so this trend line has been really amazing. I drew this trend line out probably all the way back sometime in April, and it's been playing out like a beast ever since. And we're just trapped in the 618786 region when you pull fibs from breakout, which this was the breakout area, up to the recent high. I'm not counting this high right here because I'm trying to be a little more conservative. But anyways, for the most part, you can see we're trapped within the 618786. That's the perfect buying zone. The really perfect would be the 888, but when you have really big liquidity players that are in the top 50, you don't really get as much volatility as you would with the lower cap coins. And I think Theta is sitting in the 20s or so in market cap. But anyways, that doesn't matter. We have this downtrend, and we are seeing it hold the $6 level, even though we just recently had the 3.0 mainnet launch. Anyone who knows about launches knows that typically a lot of liquidity gets given up, but this has actually been really nice. It seems as if this move to the upside was baking in bullishness early, and then this move to the downside was baking in bearishness early. And that's good because we're seeing the $6 level is holding very strong. Almost every single time Theta falls below $6, I buy it, even if it's a very small amount. Again, that's not financial advice. That's just my overall investment thesis on Theta is like buying Ethereum when Ethereum used to be $7. So you could take that for what you want. And anyways, I do see that this is kind of necessary to see a $6.50 weekly close. That would be good for continuation. But what would be even better is a 2-day, 3-day, or weekly close above about $7.50. That would be really nice. Once it starts doing that, we would most likely see it push up to $10 again, similar to this fractal area. And anything below the 786, which is $5.40 on a daily close, that's not looking good, and that would probably be a breakdown. So that's the bullish and bearish bias. That's what I'm going to start doing from now on. I'm just going to let you guys know, bullish, bearish, you take it for what you want. That way it's less of my opinion and only the analysis. We'll save my opinions for the red pill episodes and for my weekly live stream hangouts, just to clear up a lot of the parasites that come here. So let's go to the BTC.D, and we're going to see something really interesting, which is this weekly MACD. I don't think I've heard anyone talk about this yet. Weekly MACD is about to cross bullish, guys. So, I mean, altcoins are this is interesting. This is a reversal signal, in my opinion. This is a sign that we are ready to see a huge reversal for the whole market. I'm more bullish biased, but that's just because we've never seen a bull run only last 4 to 5 months, and we've never seen a bull run not hit the top of the logarithmic growth curve chart. So, yeah, we'll leave it at that. And with BTC.D flipping bullish, potentially this weekly open, that's a big thing to talk about on my next weekly Red Pill episode, which I'll be doing this Sunday. That's my technical analysis podcast. So if you'd like to have access to that, you can join my Patreon Mastermind community membership, where I'm also doing a Gematria masterclass this month. We started with VeChain decode last week, or this week actually, and next week we'll be decoding HBAR, Hedera Hashgraph. I'm really excited to do that decode. Looking forward to hanging out with you guys tonight. I'll be going live at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Enjoy the rest of your day in the Matrix. Much love.